Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Texans will have the first opportunity here in the overtime session as we are back underway. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down. Stroud. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving. Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Bigsby with a carry to begin the series. Jalen Petrie coming up to bring him down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Next score wins, but remember, this will be a tie if the period ends with no scoring as they work on 2nd down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? Anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rally
gaining 10 yards. Now it's third down. From the gun, Bigsby. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. Here's Logan Cook now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tie. A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Now Stroud. Throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. The defense does its job. Now they're going to get the ball here in overtime with a chance to win it.
Major league kudos to them, because to get the ball back in this spot, everything was on them. It had to happen, and they pulled it off. They'll get it back for their offense with a chance to win.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now, because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
On play action, Lawrence. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game, because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From midfield now, Lawrence. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And here in overtime, that had the potential to be the definition of a game-changing interception. But he couldn't find a way to pull it in. And that's a disappointment there.
Here's 2nd and 10. But to throw again is Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. He took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, Week 6, and it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston. Here's Stroud. Open man, completes it to Claypool.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Texans are going to win the football game.
Another one in the books for his partner. Always great to be by your side.